The key items are when the officers will activate the cameras, process for not activating, when to shut it down, protecting privacy individuals, and then it covers such things as storage and dissemination of material. So just the base things to protect the department and protect the community, get full use out of the cameras. The policy will spell out there's going to be specific things when they're required to turn them on. We kind of set it up a shall, should, and may type situation. There are certain situations where they shall, such as an arrest, transporting. Things where they should, you know, if they're talking to somebody and it starts escalating, and things where they may turn it on anytime they want. Anytime they deal with a citizen, it's completely up to them. As far as access, it's going to be controlled. Certain individuals will have full access. Officers might have access to their own videos, but not to other officers. So we have to control access and dissemination throughout the process. It's going to be a case-by-case basis. We have, you know, we're covered by Iowa open record laws, so some things will get other protection. So you can't go look at your neighbor's incident, maybe. But quite frequently, even with our dash cameras, if somebody wants to see the video of their accident, of their traffic stop, we're more than generous about showing that information, and I think these will fall along that line. So it's going to be based on what is the circumstance and whether it's an active investigation. You know, I think for the department in general, we think it's going to protect officers from some false accusations that do happen. Sometimes it's mistaken, sometimes it's done with spite. We also know that that's going to collect a lot of evidence as we're dealing with people at the scene, as we're arriving on scenes. We're going to see a lot of things. And for the community, it's going to protect them too, because if an officer is in the wrong, it's going to show the officer being in the wrong. It's going to break things down for both sides. Instead of a he said, she said type situation, the video is going to be another piece of evidence for the investigation.
I think it's good for the police officers, and I think it's generally good for the community as well. I think it will. My understanding is that body cameras, when they've been introduced in other areas, have reduced the complaints against the police officers. I think it's good for the protection of the police officers as well. And I think it, as a defense attorney, I think it's a good idea to give us something else to look at as well. I would like to see a little bit more fleshed out on the policy regarding when what policies there are for the videos being released to the general public. I think that it incorporates some good information about redacting videos in the examples that the chief gave: domestic violence, homicide, sexual assault, things like that. So I think it does a good job of protecting the public that way. But I want to see also some information on the public's right to know fleshed out a little bit more.
An exception where an officer wouldn't have time or an emergency situation to turn on the camera. And a simple explanation I give is you get a call for a fight in progress, two folks fighting in the middle of the street. The officer needs to get out and break up that fight, especially if somebody's really getting it handed to them. So they're might not be thinking about turning on the camera. Somebody countered that and said, well, if they have time to drive to the scene, they have time to turn on the camera, which is an accurate assessment, although there might be a lot of other things going on. But there are often times, too, where the officer just doesn't have that opportunity. It doesn't take too many years in law enforcement before something just explodes right in front of you. Two people come rolling out of a bar or a convenience store, rolling on the ground fighting. There's going to be times when it just doesn't, you don't have time to do it.